minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here for another episode of Paradise City, where these players are about to kick some ass or have their asses kicked. I haven't decided yet. That being said, if you guys like what we do here and you want to support the channel, we are trying to hit 20 subs this month, so you can subscribe with the link down below. If you want to join our Patreon for all kinds of behind-the-scenes exclusives, you can do that with the link also down below. And last but not least, in the bottom right-hand corner, you will see the corruption bar. That bar serves two purposes. One is when that bar fills, the MC of this game, get to do what the hell I want to these unassuming players. And two, every dollar that goes into that bar goes back to these wonderful, beautiful, amazing players that you see here before you. So if you want to interact with the game and cause chaos, that's your best way to do it. That being said, previously on Paradise City, with Judd and Molly joining Artemis and Friday on scene at the Tartarus, the four investigators were primed and ready for whatever they were about to find in the club. However, what greets them is just your typical underground postmodern industrial metal club, and its headliner, the Gutter Punks. Meanwhile, the real show is heating up in the alleyway outside the club, as Judd discovered several men of ill repute attempting to abscond with a young woman. The last scene we saw was Molly kicking off her shoes and running down the alleyway, past all of her friends, leaping onto the face of one of these besuited thugs and clawing their face off. Molly, please make me a hit with all you've got.
Okay.
Hit him.
Well, we got to discuss what you're using first. But I think we know what you're using. So
We
you're using
take that roll.
Yeah, we can take that roll.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Oh, you know what? That works great because we actually had you roll for that last episode, and I forgot, and you rolled one dice less, so you still succeeded. So you run down the alleyway, claws out, running, speeding past everybody, kicking the heels to the side, and you leap dramatically onto this man's face, and you begin to claw the shit out of him. Is there anything you're saying while you're doing this?
I think she's just gonna be like screaming, enraged.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. Like a feral cat. Love it. Okay, so on a hit with all you've got, on a 10 plus, you get to choose two of these. So first, you give me a status equal to your power, which is 3. And then you can take cover or secure a superior position. What that does for you, it makes it so that I can't attack you back. You can get them good, meaning you can make that from a status level 3 to a status level 4. You can control the collateral damage, not really applicable here. You can hold their attention so they only attack you and no one else. Or you can gain the upper hand and you can carry one of those juice over. So you can choose two of those.
She's gonna try to get him good because she's probably just blind with rage.
So that's one of your points. You have one more. You can secure a superior position and not get attacked, or carry one forward. All right, cool. Let me see here. So you dealt 4 freaking damage to this guy. I think that straight up fucks him up. Yeah. Cool. So you take this guy down. So describe to me how you just straight up take this guy down.
All right. I feel like Molly's gonna, as she leaps and with one hand grabs the guy by his head and the other takes her claws and grabs him through the throat and just like pierces his flesh and pulls.
Okay, let me get this straight here. Are you straight up murdering this man in an alleyway?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Cherry, remember that thing we talked about where you had to make a tough decision? So
he takes status 4 disembowel.
Yeah, so he takes status 4 dead. You killed him. Okay, cool. So you see Molly run feral down the alleyway, leaps onto this man, just these guttural noises leaving her delicate lips, and then you just see a splash of red, right, erupt. And she, like, basically rides the guy down. Like, she leaps onto his chest and just carries the momentum down. And just a poof of blood kind of happens. Not how I expected that to happen. Just so we're
I feel
clear.
like she probably like before she like dives into like a safer place, she's probably gonna like sort of step like just a quick moment of like, oh my god, what did I just do?
Yeah.
But then like stumble back and try to get somewhere safe because she might come back to reality.
Yeah, well, you straight up murdered. So okay, yeah, and then you like stumble around behind like a trash bin, I guess, right? Because that's what's in the alleyway right this second.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I think Judd and Friday were readying attacks, so I think
I just threw a lightning bolt through
that's
the
true.
car, so I think Friday should get to go
Okay,
first.
so Friday, you are behind the dumpster, pistol ready. What are you doing?
What do I see in front of me besides the situation with which we just witnessed Molly just eviscerate that guy?
Mostly that. So if you imagine a car, the front driver's side door has been blasted in, and it's like blackened and the glass is kind of shattered. You can't really see what's happening with the driver. The driver's side rear door is where Molly just eviscerated a man. You know that the passenger side front guy has gotten out and is walking around the car. And when we left the scene, you heard wing-tipped shoes clapping against the sidewalk as several more people came from around the corner. You're not sure who they are yet. They're not quite in frame, but there are more people coming, whether they are civilians or more goons. You're not quite sure. Son of a... And we hit the bar. I said so. I'm so used to being on the receiving end of trauma from the bars. I was like, oh no, we hit it. No, I mean, yeah, we hit it. Get wrecked.
Nice.
God damn it. It's been over a week though.
Friday moves forward, gun pointed, waiting for whatever is going to come out of that second door on the back side door. But Friday moves forward and along the wall in a position just trying to... they're witnessing things that they have not seen before in all of like their experience on the street. This is changing their perception of what's going on. So they're actually still just... there's nothing that they can do that they're still trying to cope with reality here. There's so much information. They're just trying to cope with reality at this point. So Friday just moves forward, gun pointed, and is ready to plug whatever comes out of it, but otherwise is a little stunned.
Okay. I don't feel like there's a move in there yet.
There isn't.
So yeah, so you are ready, and I believe you have some ready to actions you had previously. You have some story tags from last time. So with that, we'll transition to Artemis. Art, you have your weapon drawn. You are looking down the barrel of this rusty, trusty weapon of yours, and you see Molly eviscerate a man. What do you do?
I'm imagining that in like our TV show version of this, it's like an excessive amount of blood. That, like, it's like Kill Bill levels.
She got an artery where things just.
Oh yeah, it's very
Instant
it's very much like a Sin City-esque, right? Because these guys are in black suits with a black shirt, black tie, and you're in a dark nightclub alleyway with very little light, and all of a sudden just like a flash of red just erupts and then scatters.
Yeah, Artemis is definitely gonna be like very okay. That just happened, but also she's not aware of what's happening in this hallway other than, oh god, we're attacking. So, who's the closest to her? Because she's gonna aim for them.
The guy on the other side of the car is making his way around the car.
Okay. I am going to use deadly accurate danger sense. Obviously, this is coming from a fancy gun that definitely doesn't shoot magical arrows.
Got it.
And survival of the fittest.
Deadly accurate. What was what was the middle one?
Weapon worthy of a god.
Okay, and survival of the fittest.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll take that, and that's a hit him with all you got. A 10 succeeds. Okay, so you hit him with a status. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. We got something wrong here. So you rolled a 4 plus 3, which is a 7, which still succeeds. Okay. So on the top right hand corner of your character sheet, hit clear or hit. Yeah, I think it's or reset.
Yeah. I just saw that was the thing. Sorry.
So you deal 3 damage to this guy.
She's gonna aim for the shoulder. She's more wanting to incapacitate everybody than whatever what the fuck Molly just did.
Sure. Okay. And do you want to scale up the effect, gain cover? What would you like to do on this one?
So coming down the alleyway that I am, how many people do I see? I
know
there's
just this one right this second.
Just this one.
Yep.
And what was the other one besides take cover?
So you can take cover. You can get them good, which is increase the effect. You can control the collateral damage and make sure you don't kill this guy. Maybe. You can hold the attention, so make him focus on you, or you can get the upper hand and carry one juice over.
Let's
you have 2 choices.
Hold attention.
Okay, that's 1. You got 1 more.
And the carryover. 1.
Okay, so you have 1 juice you can use to spend on another attack.
Yeah.
Wait, how did you have 6 power?
She didn't. It was leftover points from the previous thing.
It's my sheet was still set up to not have working.
Okay, cool. Jesus. So what you hear is this shot rings out through the tight alleyway. Everyone's ears kind of buzz as this whips through the air and sinks into this guy's shoulder. You see another splat of this red blood sort of catch the light in the alleyway. God, you're just firing bullets and murdering people. Okay, great. And then 4 more people from around the corner.
She doesn't know why yet. So
Yeah.
Right. She was innocent until then, but
literally no one knows why. Like, Judd was like, oh no, people are getting kidnapped. Lightning bolt. And Friday
all I know is, like, Judd is over there. Friday's got his gun out. There's a guy that's just a puddle of blood now. What the fuck else am I supposed to do?
I was trying to stop the car, and then y'all just start killing people.
I like how last episode's after show was like, we're a well-coordinated team. This is great. And this one starts like, Judd stops the car. Friday's like, bad things are happening. Everyone get out here. And the other 2 get out there like, okay, got it.
I'm just making assumptions and I'm rolling with that.
Right.
Molly has great reasoning.
Yeah.
But no one but Judd knows.
Right.
Jesus. Okay, so what you hear is after the shot kind of rings out and your ears kind of buzz for a second, you hear those booted footfalls happening again, and 4 more of these exactly the same dressed men join the fray.
Oh, fuck.
From which direction?
They joined if you're looking down the alley, they came from the right. So they kind of come into the alleyway with the rest of you guys. Molly, you took a cover or a secure position. Okay, cool. Cool. So yeah, you see these guys begin to fill the alleyway, and they pull up the guy that got shot. They're dragging away the one who's a bloody mess. And they are attempting to collect. You see one of them open the right-hand door, the rear passenger door, and a 6th guy gets out of the passenger door, the other 4th member of that car, and he's pulling with him the girl that was in the car. So there are a total of 6 people in the alleyway, one of which is holding who you all now see as Delia.
So the woman is not. Like. Delia has not been pulled out of the car yet.
She's being pulled out of the
only
passenger
one
side.
left in the vehicle, though.
Correct.
Okay, I would like to change the game.
Okay, let's hear it.
So I think like visually, like before this happens, we get like that effect that happens a lot in like 80s movies when there's a lightning bolt where it's like it like redoes the lightning like scattering across the ground to like show that it's like it's real electric-y over here.
Yep.
And I want to bring the car to life and turn it into Kit from Knight Rider and have it like zoom away like towards us to like pick us up. Basically the goal is that like if a car started driving and you were like trying to pull someone out, it would like yank them out of your hands.
Okay, I I don't know if that's a change the game. So that could be a series of change the games. However, you are in a boxed alleyway. So the only way out of the alleyway is back through the club or out through where you're going, right? You're surrounded by buildings. There's no rear exit behind you. So the car
I thought it was a two-way alley.
No. So the car can only go forward or backward, so that's one. Two, you can change the game to like make the car come to life, like to make the car powered. You can't then make it drive around and pick it. That would be something different. Or you can mentally take control of the car, but that would be a what do you call it? What the hell's that other crazy move? The one you used last time.
Stop holding back.
Stop holding back.
So are we on the side of the alley opening, or are we on the side of the
side of the dead end?
Okay.
Imagine a U-shaped, right, kind of thing. The club came out at the bottom of the U, and the top of the U is where the car is parked. They were stealing the girl from.
Okay, I guess we'll call it a change the game to like and like the car like revs the engine, and it's like the next thing I'm gonna try to do, very obviously, is get the car to drive itself.
Okay, cool. So roll me a change the game, and what do you think applies here?
Okay, I think that I have life from fire and clay.
I'll take it.
I believe I have fire of creation and destruction and father of invention.
I'll take both of those. Yeah, so that's 3.
Cool.
Okay, so yeah, roll me a change the game with a +3. Let's see what happens.
Oh shoot! I forgot to add it's a 9.
Okay, so it's a 9.
Do the pluses.
Okay, cool. So with a 7 to 9, you do all that stuff. You spend your juice to gain the following effects: create a story tag, burn a power tag, or give or reduce a status. So you're creating a story tag. So you have up to 3 story tags.
Yes, I will create. Can I just create a 3 power story tag to make it a really good supercar?
Cannot. A 10 plus is what allows you to scale up the effect to make it stronger. So you can create 3 level 1 story tags.
Okay, I will create self-driving car.
Okay.
For 1. Will to protect. For 2.
Okay.
Basically the idea being like the car wants to protect.
The car wants to protect. Yep.
And souped up engine for 1.
And souped up engine. Okay.
Oh, and I'm gonna delete my other story tag because Sparks is dead.
That's true. I mean, he's alive. He just can't use him as a tag.
He's just like somewhere like far away. Some kid is gonna find a living like clockwork dragonfly. And
I mean, no
one will ever believe him.
He's still in Molly's in Artemis's pocket.
Okay.
But so you can reactivate him in a later change of the game. But okay, so describe how this looks as you power this thing on.
Yeah, so I started with kind of like the 80s movie analog, so I think it's like stays very much like that, right? Is like the electricity like dances around it and begins to like charge up, and then we hear like the engine rev and like the doors start like opening and closing and like trying to like bash at the guy to like get him off Delia, and like the headlights are like flashing and maybe the horn's honking itself.
Yeah, I love it. So what we see, you were saying how you describe the electricity like an 80s movie, right? What we see is you do that, like you put your hand somewhere that causes electricity, and at the same time as
I was imagining using like the leftover from the original lightning bolt, but
interesting. Okay, no, great, yeah. So you see the smoldering door on this car, and you see a bunch of sparks from the top of the building as one of the cables that is connecting from the light post to the building, or from the telephone pole to the building, just sort of snaps and hits the car, and then it sparks a bunch. You see the lights flash, the horn blare, the doors start opening, and that's exactly what you see. Friday, you see this scene of chaos happening around you. What would you like to do?
Friday takes their gun and immediately turns on the 4 and starts firing in a way that intimidates them and forces them to duck back around and go for cover. So I'm going to do a change of the game here. But as that's happening, there's some commotion on the street as well.
Okay. What's the commotion on the street?
There appears to be a high-speed car chase happening completely independent of this particular situation coming down barreling on the street.
And these are your change the games.
This is my change the game.
Okay. Yeah, roll me a change the game. Let's see if we can make that happen.
All right. I sure as hell hope so, because I really want to describe what's next. All right, so it's action speaks louder.
Okay, I'll take it.
Turn the tables.
Okay.
Friends everywhere.
Okay, I see what you're trying to do with that one. I'll take it.
Okay, and
that's it. That's
let's
3.
see. Yeah, I'm looking
You
for
got a crew tag.
Nope. Yeah, I don't think any of my weaknesses apply here.
Okay. So I will say this, because you are now the first person to attack this group. This group is a collective. They are a collective level 2, which means they apply a -2 to all rolls that affect the collective. So you have a +3 from your powers and a -2 from attacking the collective. Hit me with that to change the game.
How does the power tag on the car will to protect work here?
I believe the car has a will to protect the girl, is what Judd's intent was. Seems like that is correct.
Okay, since I'm doing something that's pretty defensive, and it applies to not only the girl but all of us, but they essentially, these 4 goons, this collective is moving forward towards the car.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that that's actually a threat to the car and the girl. So it might apply. Okay.
I'll take it.
All right. So reset that. Let's do this.
So that would be a 4 -2.
Yep.
And that uses up the tag, correct?
It does.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Nice. They're definitely made to be used, so I'm not at all unhappy about Johnny using it, but I want to make sure I keep track.
Okay, so you have a 7 +2, or a 9 +2, so that's over a 10. I don't know why that happened that way, but you have 2 juice, and you succeed. So you have 2 juice. That is a 9, 10, that's a 10 plus. Okay, cool. So you can create a story tag, burn a power tag, give or reduce a status, scale up the effect, prolong the effect, hide the effect, or something else that we discussed. So what are your story tags? You have 2 possible juice.
Okay, so the first is complication.
Okay.
It's complication for the collective, which means that they have to deal with a car chase that is currently on the sidewalk and approaching them as I've been firing and pushing them back towards.
Okay, so you're creating a story tag. Let's call it car chase. Right?
Sure.
That sounds right. Car chase plus.
We call it Fast and Furious.
Done.
There you go.
Done. We'll call it Fast and Furious. Okay, perfect. Fast and Furious. Love it.
I mean...
Love it. With a +1. Okay, cool. What's next?
Let's scale up the effect.
Okay, so you want to make that a +2.
Exactly.
Okay,
so they'll need to contend with that.
I will say this. Would you like to make it a +2, or would you like it to make it affect the entire collective? You can scale it up, or you can make it affect more targets.
So the story tag only affects one target as a collective. Aren't they counted as essentially one entity with story tags like this?
They're actually one and many. So the collective is
Okay.
one entity, and then you can attack each one individually, right?
Okay.
So if you
Let's
scale this
let's
up,
have it
it'll
affect all of
everyone.
them.
Okay, cool. So that is all. Okay, cool. So boom. Cool. Yeah, all right. So we hear these guys kind of run up. You see them begin to pull out Delia. You see lightning sort of like strike down from one of these electrical cables. The doors begin to open and close. The radio begins to blare. And from around the corner, you hear screeching tires and sirens. Which is great, because you said car chase, and Molly just murdered a guy. So yeah, you hear screeching tires and sirens, and in the distance you can begin to see red and blues sort of like projecting on the fore part of the wall to your left, as in this car is coming to you guys. What are Molly and Artemis doing? Actually, Molly, what are you doing? You're in the middle of this. You see lightning happening. You hear the cops coming. You just killed a man.
So Molly's having like a mental crisis right now.
Time.
She doesn't know what just happened. She is freaking the fuck out. And I feel like she's just like huddled up next to this trash can where she dove and is just like not registering the world around her.
Yeah. A patent pending bad time.
Yeah.
So are you hiding behind this trash can?
That's where she took her like place of advantage.
Right. Do you want to like hide there, like, you know, D&D terms hide, or do you want to like run back to safety, to Artemis, or to quote unquote safety? Or
I think she's just hiding there because I don't think she's going to be able to.
I think Artemis is going to move towards her.
Okay.
I would assume she's hiding on the side of the trash can that's
Sure.
invisible
Yeah.
to me.
I'll say this, Molly, roll me a sneak around.
Okay. Can I add things to it?
Yep. So what do you have that is a sneak around? You can always add things to your rolls if you can.
Would flexible?
I'll take it.
I mean, yes.
Is that, I just have curiosity, is that meant to be physically or like emotionally, or both?
It's on her dancer profile.
Okay.
So yeah.
But I mean,
It's physically.
still though, like, I mean, it would probably be important for like a, you know, exotic dancer to be also like socially flexible.
Yeah.
Yep. I think that's a different skill she's got though. This is a better one, I'm just saying.
On.
She's like doing a backflip behind that trash can. It's fine.
So
All right, I think that's the only one.
okay.
that I've
So
got.
roll me. So make sure you hit the reset button. Click on that flexible and roll me a sneak around with a +1. Oh no, that's the worst you can do. That's the actual lowest number you can roll. Okay,
find a
cool.
Molly, y'all.
So you rolled a 3. That means I get to make a hard move, which is super fun for me. So, yeah, that's gonna suck. So they can't see you because you have a superior position still. So they, who was Friday? Did you say you were spraying bullets down the thing?
Like
I
peppering
did.
them?
I was aiming at the collective and I was spraying bullets at the 4 of them.
Yeah,
And-
you did say that. You did say that.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I am going to
like this.
I'm going to use a hard move and I'm going to shower you with bullets. This is a gunshot wound 3, so give me a face danger.
Oof, this is scary.
All right. I don't think she has anything.
No, not
that's gonna-
Molly. This is Friday.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
So face danger Friday against a gunshot wound 3.
Wow.
You
Okay.
can apply your fast and furious here. Perhaps they're distracted by this situation.
Oh, this is them returning fire. This is not the stray shots.
This is them. This is them straight up returning fire on Friday.
This is fine.
Friday is meant for talking.
Action speaks louder.
Okay.
Turn the tables.
I don't think you're turning the tables. I think the tables are getting turned on you right now. Sell me on turn the tables.
Friday knew that they were facing danger. They were facing a situation where they could probably put themselves in this situation.
Uh-huh.
What they were trying to do was intentionally get the focus on somebody else besides Molly and besides the car. Those two were the most vulnerable in that particular situation.
Okay, I'll take that.
All right, and student of human behavior.
Oh, why on that one? How does that help you dodge bullets?
Did you ever see a movie called? Let's see, what was it? What was the one where it was like Christian Bale was dodging bullets? They had like a gun kata kind of a thing going on.
Are you
what it was.
trying to tell me that you're a Christian Bale dodging bullets?
Well, you know,
I think you're good at judging people. I don't think you're good at judging bullets. This is definitely not the Matrix. But I like where your head's at. I'm gonna say no on that one.
All right, so we're gonna just go with 2.
Yeah,
right,
face danger with a 2. Gun kata.
How about an 8?
Your shit's broken, so you should have a +2.
I don't. So that's the character sheet is still broken then.
Oh, weird. That's
so
fine.
it should be a 10.
Do you have any negative statuses on you? No.
I do not have any negative statuses on me.
Oh, you're still burned, aren't you?
No. Tags, that is a 0. Remember, I used...
Oh, that's right.
I used whatever juice I had.
When you click action, speak louder than words, it's not the flame, it's the box.
Right.
The flame is burning the tag.
Right.
Yep.
Sorry.
Cool.
Right.
So that is a 8
10.
with a +2. Okay, so you reduce the status. So face danger, you roll plus power. On a 10+, you fend off the attack. Nothing happens. On a 7 to 9, you take the status with a -1 tier. So actually, you just take it with a -1 tier. There's no bonuses for that one. Okay, cool. So you take a 2. You take a status level 2 gunshot. Yeah, so you are at risk. Okay, cool. So you shot down the alleyway. Molly, you're hiding or doing your best attempt at hiding. Judd, you're piling on a car. Artemis, what are you doing? You just saw them return fire, and you hear the cops coming.
I'm moving up towards Molly.
Okay.
Cops be damned.
Yeah.
I want to get in front of the trash can, especially now that bullets are being spraying down, and I want to take aim at one of these.
Okay, so
dudes.
you run up the alleyway, and you position yourself in front of Molly, and you fire on one of these guys with a hit with all you got.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to use drilled in field tactics
Okay.
to take the best position that I can.
Okay.
Weapon worthy of a god and deadly accurate again.
I'll take all those. So hit with all you got with a 3. That is close. Okay, so that is and you're only attacking one of them, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. No. I for me with the deadly accurate, I'm gonna try to do the most damage to one person at a time.
Great.
For the most
Shoot
part.
the one trying to pull Delia out of the car.
Yes.
That is the one you clipped before.
Yeah. Let's aim for that one again.
Okay.
Because if cops are coming, I want to be doing the right thing.
Sure. So, with that being said, you have 3. You deal a status 3 to this guy. You have 3 juice to use here. You can take cover. You can get them good. You can control the collateral damage, which now he is holding Delia. That might be useful. You can hold his attention, or you can take 1 juice forward.
I want to hit him a little bit harder.
Okay, so it tiers up 1.
I want to make the demand leave the girl in this ends.
Okay. You can just shout that. That doesn't actually count as one of your things.
Okay. What was the protecting one?
So you can control the collateral damage.
Aside from making sure like Molly's in a good place, I do want to make a move towards Delia. I don't know how close I am to her.
You're on the opposite end of the car. So like
That's
you're towards like the driver's side, the driver's door, and he's on the rear passenger door.
Can I do some silly cop action and slide over the hood to take my shot at him before making my demand?
I think you can. Yeah, I think you can.
Just
so
to
we
be,
can we
just
can
to
say
be fancy.
we can say that's all part of your thing, right?
Yes.
So even then, so still you did you scaled up the effect, so you did more damage. And I'm gonna say you gain so you slide across the car. You still have 2 points you can spend. Control collateral damage, take cover or secure a superior position would be one of them. Hold his attention would be another one.
I want to make sure she is back in the car, like down.
Okay.
Get into a position where this guy knows the next shot I take, he dies.
Okay.
And make my threat.
Okay, cool. I'll take that. I'll take those as your actions.
I feel like that works.
So you slide, Dukes of Hazzard style across the hood. You fire as you fire past this guy. The bullet rounds into the same area that you shot him the last time. It kind of spins him backwards, and you see another spray of blood as you hear as Delia falls out of the car. You're able to get across there and sort of get in a position where you're between this guy and Delia, and you see that this guy's not getting back up. But the remaining 5 have noticed you.
Yeah.
And are very aware of what you are doing. We'll go to Judd. Judd, Delia, as far as you know, might be half out of the car. She's definitely not fully in the car.
Yeah, I tried to push her like down where if any bullets are coming from the bad guys, they're not.
I would like for the car to drive back to us, go reverse back to us so that we can get in the dilapidated car and then try to like do something with that and get the fuck out of here because the police are coming. I want to. Oh wait, how did you just?
I am muted. So you want the car to do a 3-point turn and back up into the alleyway?
Okay, it's facing us. I thought it was facing.
No. So here's the alleyway. The car is this way. The road goes like this.
Oh.
Yeah. You are facing the driver's side and rear passenger door.
In that case, I would like to try to get into the car so that I can zip away while the others are taking care of the bad guys.
Cool.
Thanks, Judd.
What would that be?
I don't know what else to do.
Are you trying to be as stealthy as possible about it so you don't get rained down with the hail of bullets?
No. I think that Judd is shouting obscenities.
Okay.
And he's probably going to I think he's just kind of like he's probably releasing more of his like in this event, right, between like the stop holding back and all of this stuff. He's probably like doing more magic-y weirdness than he like ever really has in one sitting, right? And I think he, as like the like bullets are like shooting out at him, he gets kind of like instinctually more aggressive in response. So I think it's like kind of him just sort of like running towards the car and like this sort of mixture of fire and energy and plasma is kind of like shooting out as cover fire as he's like trying to get there, right? So it's
Gotcha.
more like it's not stealthy, right? It's more like I'm just going to blast and run and hope that I get
there. This sounds like a loose definition of go toe-to-toe. Right?
Okay.
So you're overcoming something in a struggle for control. You're trying to struggle over the control of the car. So you run down the alleyway, whatever, like spark as you're running. In much the same way that Molly, like there was like a gust of wind as you're running, like a light bulb bursts, that kind of thing, right? You see like the downed power line whips out and like hits the car again. So you're going toe to toe versus the car. So let me know what power tags you're using and roll me that go toe to toe.
Oh, I'm against. I was thinking it would be more like against like the people shooting.
You're against the entire scene. The's people shooting. There's
there's
still a body.
There's a car chase.
Yeah, there's still a body in the car. You also exploded the door inward. So there's a bunch of things stacked against you. So I think this is a go toe to toe.
So that makes sense. And to like to describe a little bit, I like your. I was having a little trouble like thinking because he's not like throwing the fire this time, right? Like, and I think your explanation was good, where it's just like weird like other things that conduct energy or fire or what like if there was like a gas, it wouldn't be in this part of town, but if there was like a gas burning flame that would like react, right? And it's just like anything that can react to his powers is just like jumping out to try to protect
you see those like one of the water meters on the side of the building starts spinning like crazy, and then the glass shatters off of it.
Exactly,
for sure.
Cool. So I would like to use Wrath of Flame.
Yep.
I would like to use the tag self-driving. Oh no, I can't burn the tag self-driving car because otherwise it will no longer be able to drive at all.
Right.
Because I dilapidated it. How about
That's
humanity's champion? Because I'm like all about saving Delia right now.
I'll take it.
How about maybe maybe return to the fire because I'm like attacking and like destroying stuff.
I feel like your intent isn't to destroy stuff. Is your intent?
That's
to destroy
a good
stuff?
point.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point. His intent is getting Delia out. All right, cool. Well, then, unless somebody minds, I'd like to burn our crew tag Walk the Line so that I can use that. All right.
Works for me.
Cool. That'll be my 3 then.
Okay. So check off the boxes of those 3, and I'm going to track your weakness tag. Can't stop the spread from Forbidden Fire.
That's a good one. That's a good one. So I do get attention even if you
correct.
It, correct.
That is correct.
Cool. All right. So I'm rolling with a +2, and we are going toe to toe.
Hell yeah.
I'll take it.
All right, so an 8 with a 2. So a go toe-to-toe. On a 7 to 9, you get to choose one of the following. You manage to achieve your goal. Seems like that's the easiest one for you. You get them good, or you block, dodge, or counter their best attempts. So I assume you get into the door.
I'm gonna get in and eat the hit here.
Yeah. So you get all the way down there. You kind of wrench the door open, which you see is kind of like dented inward, right? Like as if you threw a body into it. And you see that there is still a man in the driver's seat. He's not dead, but he's in a bad way. You kind of just grab him and toss him on the ground, and then you get in the car.
I'm imagining like the whole like there's like no steering wheel or anything. Like right, it's just like melted. Just
yeah. Well, the door is dented in. The glass is shattered. It's all kind of charred. I think it's like because it's funny that way. There's probably like a 3/4 steering wheel, right? So it's like part of it's like slagged. Like part of the leather seat is all burnt up and nasty. So I will say you are running under a hail of bullets. You make your way there, but I will need you to face danger. Against a gunshot 3.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll be honest.
Yep.
It was too good to be true.
Yeah. Now here's the thing about Judd is he, unlike my last City of Mist character, doesn't have a lot of tags for getting hit.
Yeah.
Humanity's champion again.
I'll take it.
Fighting in the line of duty here.
I'll take it.
Oy, oy, oy.
That might be the only one.
I think that might be the only one that I can come up with.
Okay.
Yeah.
I apologize in advance, Judd.
No.
The collective is firing on you, so you have a -2 for them.
Oh no.
And you can roll that face danger, and we'll see what happens.
Judd, burn that Fast and Furious.
Could I use knows where the bodies are buried? Like maybe Judd's been shot at once or twice in his life before.
Does that help you not get shot at?
I feel like having done something before is always a good thing when you're trying to do it again.
Okay.
Repetition breeds
I'll take that.
Expertise.
And Friday suggests burning that Fast and the Furious tag.
Oh, yeah. I would like to definitely use that. That's a 1-point tag?
That is.
Yep.
Okay, yep. All right, so I'm going to be rolling at a +1 here, which is much better than a -1. Let's Go ahead and face danger.
Whoo boy. You nailed it.
Wow.
Okay, cool. So you are running under a hail of gunfire. You hear woo, woo, woo as these cops begin to chase this car through. There's a minute of distraction when the sirens, the wigwams get closer and closer as you hear this kind of like begin to whiz by you. Now, Johnny, I don't want to steal your thunder here on this chase. Do you want this chase to zoom by them? How do you want this chase to play out? They're distracted by the fact that there are cops in the downs.
The cops, so the chase will do as much as it possibly can to scatter them enough so that it's not necessarily like we lose, like they're not going to be taken out of the scene,
Right?
but they are going to be such to the point that they're going to have to sort of like assert themselves in the situation. They are going to lose their position to be able to attack Judd, basically.
Okay, cool. So yeah, they scatter enough that there is a much less hail of bullets as what was fired at Friday. You will take a status 2 gunshot. So you reduced it from a 3 to a 2.
I still just got shot by a gun, but that's better than being all the way shot by a
Yeah.
Just I'm not the only one now.
Yeah.
How do you record in
So in the bottom, you can have where it says tracking cards.
Ooh, I can do a minus card.
Yep, that is correct. That is correct. And so when it is applicable, you'll do a minus to it, right? So it's not always applicable to you at all times.
Now am I still just gunshot, or is it like, through and through because it's only 2?
So let's say you were hit with like 2 bullets is what happened.
Okay.
Whereas, you could have been hit with a hail of bullets.
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, that's rough. We'll go to Molly. Molly, you are now being protected by, you saw Artemis run up in a protective stance in front of you, like acknowledge that you were safe, slide across the front of the car, and shoot a guy to death. What do you want to do? You also saw Judd run by you and into the car.
That's fine.
Molly's gonna turn, is gonna look up. Audie, we gotta get out of here, Audie. We gotta go. And she's,
Are you gonna also try to get in the car with Judd?
Judd is shouting, "Come on, everyone, get in the fucking car! We gotta
I
go
think she's
right
gonna
now!
look to Artemis.
Let's fucking go!"
And
I mean, that's
see
the
what
way
Artemis does.
Artemis headed, so
Yeah, then I think she's gonna follow
she
along.
probably would have been like,
Mhm.
in response, being as this happened
Okay.
already.
So I will give you 2 options. It sounds like you can sneak around and sneak into the car, or you can go toe to toe and book it like Judd did.
I'll do sneak around.
Okay.
I think she would try to quickly and quietly sneak over there, since she's still
Okay.
kind of.
So roll me sneak around, and what tags do you think apply to that?
I guess I'm just gonna do flexible again, because she doesn't really have anything else that would apply.
Okay. I don't think anyone's paying attention to you right now, so I'm not going to apply the -2 from the collective. Roll me a sneak around with a +1. That succeeds. Just barely. Okay, cool. On a 7 to 9, it is complicated. Okay, you are perceived by a secondary sense. You are noticed. Okay, someone unimportant noticed you, but that just made them important. Okay, cool. You are perceived. That someone, as you move, you bump a trash can or something, and someone hears movement from your direction. But you are able to scramble into the driver's side rear door of this car and slowly close it. We'll go to Friday. Friday, what are you doing in the scene? You are alone in the back of the alley.
Freddy's going to move forward.
Okay.
What is the position of the 4 individuals, the collective?
So, one is dead. One was pulling out Molly. There are 5 left. They are
Delia.
and Delia. So the 5 are visible, but they moved back away from the back to the way they came from, like towards wherever they were before. The one that was still in this car is still the closest one to you, so you can easily separate him from the collective. You see that the driver is now on the ground. You see that there's the guy that Molly clearly killed, and you see that there's another person that Artemis killed.
Friday is going to move boldly forward, running for the car.
Okay.
And at the same time, reaching into their pocket, pulling out another apple.
Okay.
And rolling it to the end of the driveway.
Okay.
On the side, or end of the alley, on the side where the 5 are, or where the 4 are that kind of went around the corner. And imagine an explosion.
Okay. This sounds... Oh, man.
This is either toe-to-toe.
Yeah.
In my head.
It's either hit with all your gut.
The game if you want to get all sort of like mellow about it, but if you want to go serious, this is a stop holding back.
I was saying it was either stop holding back or take the risk.
I think it's a significant stop holding back.
Yeah.
Seems about right to me.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do it. Fuck it. Let's throw caution to the wind here and roll some stop holding backs. Start knocking these out. So stop holding back. This sounds significant. On a 7 to 9, you'll mark fade or crack, and burn all the tags in that thing. On a 10, you just do the fade or crack. I will tell you what exactly it will take from you. What sacrifice this will take from you. If you do this, you will be recognized.
Friday will be recognized as like identity wise. Is that what you're implying? Okay. Yeah, totally.
8 is a success. Okay, so 7 through 9, you will mark fade or crack on whatever that was, and you burn all of the tags on that theme. Okay, so that theme is out of the game for today. So you run down, you reach into your pocket, and again, you throw this, and for a second, we see this golden apple just sort of tumble across the ground, and then we hear the tink, 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 tink of metal, and on your finger, there is a small ring dangling as it rolls around the corner of this alleyway, and about 3 seconds later, we hear as a massive explosion erupts from behind the car that is carrying at least 2 of you. Friday, you are able to get to the car. Are you trying to get in as well?
Absolutely.
Okay. So you'll either have to run around to the side that Artemis is on and like help her with Delia, or kind of push Molly in further in the car. Your choice for whatever narrative.
Friday will run around and grab Delia and help kind of push her into the vehicle.
Okay.
And jump in as well.
Okay, fantastic. That leaves the last person out of the vehicle is Artemis. Art, you see Friday come around and like help you scoop up this frail girl, and he jumps in the back seat with her, leaving the front passenger seat available for you. You see that the 5 guys are scattered. You see a few of them kind of moving, clearly concussed, clearly having some tinnitus things. You see that the front end of the car that was behind you, was behind this car, the tail car, is like the hood is open, there's smoke coming out of the grill. This car is badly damaged. But they are moving and they are aware of your presence. What do you do? Everyone else is in the car.
Crane's leaving.
What's happening with the car chase? Is that
the car chase? The car chase blew by.
It already blew by.
Yeah,
got burned.
I thought I got burned, but I wasn't 100%.
Yep.
Do I have to change sides of the car again?
Nope, you can get in the driver's side passenger door.
Okay. If everybody's in, I may just just give them cover. I'd like pop off 2 shots and then jump in.
Okay, yeah, so we can
That's
just do
my
that.
thought.
We can do that narratively, unless you're trying to kill more people. I mean, attack them.
No, Artemis killed the kidnapper, and in her mind, that's the closest thing to good she's done today.
Okay. I am going to make you make a hard choice.
Yes, sir.
When your identity demands you act or speak in a given way and you don't, mark a crack. Are you going to call this in?
I think she would call it in, but she's gonna make sure Judd and Friday have stopped bleeding, that they've gotten safely out of the situation before she does that.
Okay, so you're going to delay this call in, and you're going to call it in back when you guys are all in safety, it sounds like?
Yes.
Okay.
And as far as she can tell, it's an attempted kidnapping, and they fired first? Question mark.
Okay. Okay.
Is
that's
how
fine.
she would report it.
Yeah. Okay, so you don't need to mark crack because you are doing the right thing. Law is just and good, and you are behaving in such a way that you know, in more or less a way that represents that identity.
Yeah.
Interesting choice. Could be some complications down the line. So you are all in the vehicle. Judd, you do some kind of... Oh, go ahead.
Let's add the thing in that she reports this anonymously.
Interesting. Okay.
Because the more time they spend investigating things, the less time they have to catch up to us.
Okay. I'll take that. Still a moral choice for you yourself. You did the right thing. Morally. Okay, cool. So yeah, everyone jumps in the car. Judd, you are able to do some kind of hokey hot wiring to this car, and all of a sudden it drives miraculously as if by itself. Where do the 4 of you peel off to?
And while we're doing that, Artemis is going to rip up her shitty jacket. She's going to make sure Judge stop bleeding, and either task Delilah or Molly, whoever's got the most holy fuck that just happened.
Yeah.
Can either of you patch Friday up, make sure he's okay, give me a status report, or do I have to crawl back there?
So, just to cover some quick mechanics here, this is the first time you guys have all been shot to shit. You can do whatever you want narratively. I love that. The only way to heal is by using a change of the game or in a montage. So, we are out of the scene. If we get to a new scene and you guys change the game and wrap some bandages on, you can absolutely do that. Yeah, but that's how you do it in this game. If you're wondering, that's how you heal. You change the game and remove statuses from people. Yeah, so yeah, you guys are in the car going where as you're trying to rip skirts and shirts and bandage the bloody wounds in people? Where are you guys headed to?
First thing Friday is going to suggest to do is that we ditch the vehicle and find a new one and then do it again.
Okay. Judd, you're the captain of the ship right now.
Yeah, where are we staying in the Downs?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure that. I'm having trouble deciding whether I think Judd would take everybody back to his apartment / safe house.
I'm thinking
that's the best place for him.
Your house, Artemis's, because she's got protection and supplies, or somewhere to get a random car and keep moving.
Molly wouldn't suggest her own. She wouldn't. So
no.
Yeah, okay. I think he's just gonna. This is like a high adrenaline, high pressure situation. He's just gonna have the cart. It's just gonna go back to like the safe house, aka his apartment.
Does Judd say anything about that?
No, I don't think so. I think he's probably just like not really talking much. He'll probably respond if somebody like talks to him, but he's probably pretty shell shocked I don't think he's been shot before, so.
Mike, a little bit of indulgence here.
Go nuts.
So you take us out of the downs, is that correct? That's the first step that we get out of here? Judd?
I mean, the car's driving us out. I mean, I don't live in the downs, I don't think, so.
You don't.
Well, no, I know, but I'm wondering how what this scene looks like as the car is moving, away from the crime scene. What is I mean, because essentially it's Judd's intent, regardless of whether he's driving the vehicle or the vehicle is driving itself. What does that look like?
I mean, I think it's just like speeding. I mean, it's just like speeding off, right? And then probably once we're like out of harm's way, it goes back to like a more tame, more safe pace.
The moment that we exit the tunnel for the downs, Friday's gonna move, sort of like sit up more straight. Where are we going, Judd? We need to ditch this vehicle.
My place. We're going back to the safe house. It's the only place. Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you.
Pull over. We need to get another vehicle.
I think the car will just start pulling over.
Man, I was expecting a more dramatic scene than that.
I mean, I feel like that's like Judd is in shock. Like he just so much shit just happened.
The only reason he was going to his apartment is because nobody else took control of the situation and told him where to go. So he just started going on autopilot. So as soon as somebody's like, do something else, he's just gonna do it.
Yeah.
So Friday's going to instruct Judd to pull over, and then we need to find a different vehicle. So I'm sure there's one on the street. Friday would select one and use some of his or their previously gained skills and break us into the vehicle, hotwire it, and get us moving in a direction. How do you want to do that?
You can just do that.
Right.
That's not difficult. Yeah. So are you doing this in the downs or out of the downs?
Out of the downs. Once we exit the tunnel and we're back into sort of the normal world,
sure,
so to speak, the normal proper part of the city, Friday will instruct Judd to kind of pull over, painfully, bleeding, the blood sort of seeping into the, and being obvious on, Friday's otherwise clean clothes or, immaculate clothes. They'll get out, they'll approach another car and work basically, by instinct, if nothing else, the skills to be able to break into another vehicle, get the four of us in there plus Delia, and then get us moving again. And then, while somebody else is driving, Friday will get on the phone.
Okay, so you know that on the other side of the tunnel there was a gas station. You and Artemis had stopped there before.
Right.
This is the gas station is called Cumberland Farms. It is a gas station that also has like an interior where you can buy snacks and drinks and like it's larger than it's like a Circle K. For reference.
Can I be in there getting like water and basic supplies so I don't see that happen?
The hot wiring and the bleeding?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. So you can pull over Friday. You know that at a minimum there will be cars here, and the gas station attendant will have a parked car here. It is also very late at night, so the chance of running into people getting gas in this area of town is relatively slim. Yes, you'd be stealing someone's car, but it's better than whatever you have currently. So yeah, Artemis can take a bathroom break and go inside and buy some snacks and some energy drinks while you hotwire this car and sort of help everyone transition into this new Kia Soul.
Does that have enough seats for 5 people?
I mean,
that's a very tiny middle seat in the back.
I have a feeling I'm gonna end up with somebody on my lap. That's fine.
You're in the front seat. You're fine.
As long as it's the right person, right?
Yeah, as long as it's Molly.
Yeah.
So you are able to transfer people into the car, and the car starts, and at the same time, as if fortuitous, Artemis walks back out of the convenience store and rejoins, none the wiser that this car has been hotwired by a series of criminals. So you are in a new car. What are you doing?
At this point, I'm gonna assume Friday and Judd are sitting up front, and I'm gonna sit with the girls so they're more comfortable while I'm comforting them. I'm also gonna start asking Delia what happened.
Okay.
Why were you with those guys? Are you okay?
Okay. So Friday
and if
okay.
I need to roll, I have things.
You will. So Friday and Judd, where are you taking this car? So I know.
Well, we're trying to find just like a good place to get out of the way and pull over, right?
Friday will make an arrangement so that there's some place for them to go, like an abandoned warehouse of some kind, so that they can.
Okay.
So they can regroup.
Interesting. I need to know who you call to make this arrangement. You don't have to roll, but I have to know who you're calling to make this arrangement.
Belladonna.
Of course you are. Great. Cool. So this conversation happens. Let's say this conversation happens while Artemis is still in the store, and then we'll transition to Art having a conversation between Molly and Delia as Judd drives. So you dial that familiar number, and the line picks up, and you don't get a hello. You get an almost annoyed. Well, you've made a mess.
Wasn't my fault.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Belle.
Mm-hmm. Why are you calling me, Alex?
I need some help. What are you expecting? Why else would I be calling you?
Of course you need help. What can I help you with?
Need a place to lay low and regroup. The people I'm with, they screwed up.
What kind of place?
Need a place I can lay low for maybe 24 hours. I just need something that allows me. And Friday will wince. And it'll become like an audible grunt. And patch myself up. A couple of us are shot. Right now, I don't know who I can trust except the person I know nobody trusts.
Ugh. Okay, fine. There is a factory on West River Street. It's next to the bar, the Fisherman's Rest. I own that. You can pull in there. Don't go in the basement.
Oh boy.
What's this going to cost me, Belle?
What's in the basement?
I don't know.
I'll figure that out. Don't bleed out on my carpet.
Wait, you're going to figure out what I owe you?
Yes, I was asleep, and you've woken me up. I need a minute. I'll call you back.
You are
All
so
right, Belle.
fucked.
Again, I'm sorry.
Good night, Alex. And then the phone clicks closed. Like it goes, the line goes dead. You have annoyed Belladonna. Cool.
My pleasure.
Yeah. So Artemis, you get back and you see. I think you. There's a second where you could have sworn you saw Friday lose a little bit of composure and then immediately regain it back as the phone slides into his pocket. As you get into the back seat, and Judd begins driving past a few streets down River Street, down West River Street towards this factory that Friday is directing him to. Molly, Artemis, you are in the back seat with Delia. What are the two of you doing?
So Molly is, I feel like she's pretty much covered in blood if the spurt was as described.
Yeah. When you stab
Which
the
I
man in
assume
the
is
neck.
probably starting to like dry on her skin. Her clothes are probably still wet with the ick. And she is sitting very like closed up in on herself, shakily smoking a cigarette with her legs crossed and ignoring everything that is around her.
Perfect.
That's fair.
She is.
What is going on in Molly's head right now?
So Molly's seen some things
Mm-hmm.
before. She in her career, of course, she's seen things. But it wasn't too long ago that she began to feel a lot more angry about things, and having these sort of crazy outbursts. And when she keeps running the image of the men when they stepped outside through in her mind, and it goes back to the night when they roughed her up and questioning, because it was the same people,
Mm-hmm.
or in similar looks.
Mm-hmm.
And she keeps like rolling this like a movie reel through in her head of seeing them and then the blood and thinking about that night and them and the blood. And so she's just like stuck in a loop right now in her thoughts.
Okay.
What's Delia doing?
Delia is she's like Judge. She is shook. She's just quietly sitting in the back of the car, not making any noises, because as far as she can tell, some people just tried to kidnap her, and then 4 random people came out of a club, shot her kidnappers, and then kidnapped her. So she's
kind of what happened.
Yeah, so she is.
It is a little bit.
She's trying to just be quiet and not cause any problems, because you guys are bleeding. And there was just a very weird conversation that happened on one-sided on the phone. And you just stole a car and transported your kidnapped person into a new car. So clearly you are a band of criminals.
Really,
in
the
her
car
eyes.
stole itself.
The second car didn't.
The second car did.
So the Kia Soul did not. So yeah, she is shook and being as quiet and like as timid as possible.
Artemis is used to dealing with shell-shocked people post-crime. So she's going to let the 3 people sort themselves, Friday, Judd, and Molly, because they know a little bit more what they're getting into.
Yeah.
She's going to have purchased water for everybody, because that's a good chill-down thing, and maybe some, like, miscellaneous snacks. She's going to hand the water to everybody else and then to Delia last.
I don't want to interrupt you, but I feel like whenever she hands it to Molly's just going to like crack it open and like pour it on her own face and like
try to clean herself.
Freaking out, like just scrubbing herself, but she just soaks herself and probably whoever's next to her is in the process.
Probably be a little bit. And like Artemis might occasionally like pat you on the back, but she knows for you, just letting you process is probably the best way to go after that. Her first question to Delia is going to be like, do you know what they wanted from you? And she'll look around at everybody. By the way, my name is Artemis, blah, blah, blah. This is my badge number. This is where I work, etc.
Okay. I would like you to roll me a convince.
All right. I want to use police officer.
Okay.
Drilled in field tactics.
Okay.
So like trying to come at her with the right level of comfort, right level of words.
Yep.
And even though she's not a suspect, I feel like get into the suspect's head works for questioning purposes.
Okay. I'll take that. Yeah, so there's no negatives here. You go ahead and roll that for me. Okay.
She's going to take a little while to warm up, but...
A little rocky there. So 7 to 9, they give in a little bit, but protect their own agenda. So you see that, like, she's, like, tense and, like, sort of... That you know, when you, like, squeeze into the smallest space you could possibly be in, you see her, like, shoulders kind of relax once you present her with a badge, which means something...
I'm going to tell her about my badge. I don't think she had it on her.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so that gives her...
Or maybe, well, we're fancy digital. Maybe she just pulls up her phone and...
Sure, yeah. You have, like, a scanned... Yeah. So that
secret badge.
That gives her some level of comfort. But, you know, the cops aren't always what they seem to be in Paradise City. So it only goes so far. You see her relax slightly, and in response to your question, she shakes her head no, and then you hear, like, a very meek response. I need to get somewhere safe.
We're working on that. I promise. We're obviously that was... I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm sorry that you had to see this. We're looking for answers, and I hope you have them, but, you know, on your own time when you're ready. We're headed, I don't know, Friday looked like he was figuring stuff out. We're headed somewhere safe, I promise.
I need to get somewhere safe.
Yeah.
She just kind of like mutters and repeats that as she is not as small as she was, but you can see that she's like wringing her hands, like she's very nervous about the situation. She's not sure if you guys are going to kill her, but she's comfortable enough to be like, please just let me live, please. So as you continue to try to comfort her, and the rest of the car is in varying degrees of shock, Friday is able to direct Judd to this warehouse, this old factory, you pull up across the street from the Fisherman's Rest, which is a small tavern, and you see that there is an overhead garage where you are able to manually lift the garage and pull your vehicle in to this, and you enter inside this refurbished factory. The exterior looks like it is meant to be a factory, but the interior looks like it is meant to be like, it's like a weird cross between like an office building and also like a weird nightclub. Like there are offices, but there's also like, you know, a bunch of leather couches. There's also like a fully stocked bar. There's like a nice carpet in there. A series of these, you know, ornate Art Deco glass tables. It looks like a weird space. But you were able to pull the car in there, put the garage door, the overhead door down behind you, and as far as you all know, you are relatively safe. What are you
All
watching?
right. What time is it?
It is in the wee AM hours.
So like sun rising?
I think it's before that. This is like a 2 to 3 a.m. kind of time frame, right? I think you guys entered the Downs like between 10 and midnight, fucked off for a little bit, you know, and then sped here.
Sure.
Yeah, so you are all in here now.
I'm gonna get Delia to the couch.
Okay.
She's not bloody or anything.
She basically moves wherever you kind of force her to, not not wanting to cause any issues.
I'm gonna make sure Molly. Well, I'm gonna assume Molly's gonna dash towards the bar, but I'll let Kitty decide on that later. I'm gonna be like, just kind of reassuring. It's gonna be okay. I'm sorry.
Thank you. And she sort of like, she sits on the couch, but again, she like sits on the couch like closest to the armrest, and she like kind of sits back into the couch and towards the armrest, as if like trying to get as far away from the external things, like putting herself against a wall to be smaller. Kind of situation after whatever she's been through.
I'm gonna talk to my friends. Yeah, obviously, you'll hear what you can. Make sure we're in a position where if you need to contact somebody, we need to make sure if you contact whoever you need to contact, it's not going to get you back in this situation. You get what I mean?
She nods.
We're on the same team, I think. Because at this point, Artemis actually realizes she doesn't know.
Yeah. She looks to you when you say, I think, and then there's like a flash of concern, and then she just kind of nods to you.
But I promise you, we're not with the suitcase, all right?
Okay.
So she thought we were with the guys we were fucking murdering.
So
I know, but it's a cop thing.
I think like as say like if it was cinematically like as the camera's like sitting on those two speaking, Molly just in the background, you would just see her in the background with like a big bottle of Jack.
Yeah.
In the bathroom. Like you just see her like with a cigarette walking towards the bathroom.
Love it.
This bottle of Jack.
Love that.
Judd is not in a good way. He is stumbling around, muttering to himself, mostly incoherently, and just kind of bleeding everywhere.
Great.
Yeah. He probably, I think he got shot kind of like in like the upper gut region. And so, he's not doing good.
Can I check behind the bar, see if there's any even like a basic first aid kit?
Yeah, we'll say there's a first aid kit.
towels?
There's a first aid kit.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Judd, come sit down somewhere, even if it's on the ground. You need to stop bleeding. Let me help you.
Yeah, I think like he's definitely not gonna fight you, but he's like very clearly like some kind of delirious. He's definitely not all together. And I think like in his head we're getting like lots of like weird like surreal flashes of like pain and torturous activity, and as like kind of his consciousness and his Mythos's consciousness kind of entangle and get all mixed together, and you know, with the pain and the deliriousness, that firm wall cementing the difference in the personalities is kind of starting to crumble and let in holes and leaks.
I love it. Friday, what are you doing besides
Friday's doing a
bleeding
little
out?
bit. Well, Friday's doing a little bit better than Judd, having been shot before.
Yep.
Friday is going to investigate the entire place, not only to find what leads to the or where the basement is, so that they can prevent anybody from actually just, making, pissing off Belle, but also to figure out what else is going on here, or what the hell this particular place is.
Okay. All right, cool. Roll me investigation. Let me see what you got for that.
Oh, I got plenty for that. We're going to call it...
Student of human
Consulting
behavior
criminal?
does not account for this one.
I'm sorry, what?
Student of human behavior does not apply to this one.
Consulting criminal.
I'll take it.
Mastermind.
I'll take it.
Friends everywhere.
Ooh. I like what you're doing with that one. I will take it.
All right.
I will take it.
So
roll me that investigate. Let's see what you got. Show me what you got.
Yeah, bitch.
All right, cool. Perfect. So on a 10 plus, I just give you straight up answers, my dude. You have 3 clues to ask about this scene. This scene could also, just so we are clear, apply to Delia as well. Everything in this scene is open to your investigation.
I've only got one question, and I opened it up to the rest of the table for the other 2.
Okay.
I want to know what Belle uses this location for.
This is a previously unknown to you meeting location for what you believe to be some kind of secret something. A secret cabal, a secret organization, a secret club, if you need a visual, think Hellfire Club.
Okay.
You don't know who the participants is, what this group is called, but you believe that this is a secret meeting place, an off-the-grid meeting place for some, high-up people.
Anybody else have anything?
That is one of your 3 clues you can ask about this scene.
Maybe something about Delia, if there's anything we can think of. You had such a good role, it feels like getting something out of her would be good.
Yeah, but that has to be framed as a question, and I'm not.
Maybe...
my character is not closely attached to Delia in that way.
I'm just thinking of things you could get from the visual observation. Would there be anything that in the way Delia carries herself, the stuff she wears, etc., the way she's talking to Artemis, that Friday could pick up on to associate her with any particular groups, or I don't know, just kind of put her Because right now we just like know her as like this woman that is a person of interest. We don't really know anything about her otherwise. I'm wondering if there's anything about the observation that could like help us place her in the city and in time.
Okay.
Right, but so Judd actually has more information on this in this particular situation than Friday does, because Judd has actually seen the contents of what's on the film, and that hasn't actually been shared with Artemis and Friday yet.
That's true.
So,
Friday does not know who this woman is.
Yep.
Good point.
So,
oh no! Well, you do know I was looking for someone named Delia for Sam.
We do know that.
That is true.
I think we all know she's connected to Sam. I don't know that we knew about the film. I haven't.
You guys haven't heard about the film yet, but you did know why I was connected with Sam, which was finding this woman.
Yep.
okay, so can we bank those questions until? I mean, what is the duration of this scene? Is it for as long as we're here, or until the action starts if something happens here?
I will say you can bank those questions until at least the end of this episode.
All right.
I don't imagine this scene leaving the end of this episode.
Right. So, unless there's anything else, let's go ahead and bank those for the moment.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So you see Friday is kind of like, despite being wounded, he seems to have shored himself up, and he is kind of moving around this place in a way that he's kind of like holding the pressure on some wounds to not track blood everywhere. But he is kind of looking around this building, this room, this area that you're in, getting a feel for it, while Judd and Artemis are patching up behind the... I assume you're patching him up, Artemis?
To the best of my ability.
Okay. Do me a favor and roll me a change the game. I will give you a +1 for first aid kit.
Okay.
What do you have that you think would
I'm
help
gonna
with
keep
first aid?
police officer. I would know definitely some basic first aid,
take it.
how to seal up wounds.
I'll take it.
And drilled in field tactics. Are there any plants in the room?
There are
Or
not.
Animals.
There are not.
So
None.
Judd,
if I can help,
do you
I
have
think-
a skill that would help?
I have a thing that would help, I believe.
Oh, God.
But to set the idea here, like, I think like when Artemis would probably like realize pretty quick that like him being like where he's got like shot is probably his liver, if not somewhere else, and so like first aid is really probably not enough, right? Like,
Yeah.
if this is like goes normal, like it should be something that would send him to hospital. But I'm going to help with the fire of creation and destruction. And I think like as you're like beginning to you like are treating the wound, like the wound feels like warm, almost like warm to the touch, and it's almost like it's like trying to seal itself up and like trying to like eject the bullets from itself. Yeah, it's
Okay. I see what's happening here. All right, then let's do this. Let's have Artemis roll a change the game with +2, and let's have Judd roll a change the game with +1. It sounds like.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Let's have you both.
I'm gonna invoke survival of the fittest, even though I don't have a connection to nature. So if you wanna hit me with that.
Let's see here. Let me take a look at Artemis.
I feel like she's slightly better at first aid than she thinks she is, but
yeah, I think yeah, I think you're fine.
Invoke his nature.
Nope, I think you're fine.
Okay.
I think you're fine.
And I change the game. That's what I'm rolling.
Yes, please. Change
Wait,
the
so
game with a
am
+1.
I also rolling, or I'm giving her a +1?
You're also rolling.
Gotcha.
So you have a 14 with a +3 there.
I don't think I even need to roll.
I did a good.
You did a good. And Judd, let's just see yours for just the sake of.
Yeah. Second here. Mild success.
Okay, cool. So you can reduce a status, and then yeah. So basically, if you're doing first aid with your combined points, you can reduce Judd's gunshot to a 0.
Okay.
And
I
you are
wanna
no longer bleeding out.
Control the bleeding and maybe even attempt to sew him up a little bit.
Okay.
To at the very least get him in a better position. I think while she's controlling the bleeding, she doesn't 100% notice what's going on with him, but she like, I don't think she physically sees it. I think she mentally senses it.
Okay.
Is about what I'll go with it.
I could definitely imagine this both being like, for both people involved, something that they just kind of ignore in the moment, and then like later down, you know, when it comes time to change the bandage, Judd's gonna be like, "Oh no, I'm fine. Like, you guys are crazy. I can't have been shot. Like, look at me."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much one of those, like,
like,
when you touch it, it's hot to the touch, which is like, you know, like
Yeah.
it's like an infection, right? I will say this, Artemis, you rolled high enough that if you call Friday over and they come over to you, you could also heal Friday up as well. There's enough equipment in here for you to piece together Friday.
After I get him situated, I'm gonna make Friday come sit down and do the same.
So Friday, you get called over to Doc Art over here to patch your ass up. What are you doing?
As she begins to patch Friday up, they'll look to her and whisper in quiet tones, "Do you know anything about this place?"
Do I know anything about this place?
You do not. This was the old.
I missed.
What's it called? The old Exarch factory. X something. The old Xlay factory. You know that this was, like, back in the day, was like a textile factory. There used to be a big old watermill on the other side. It's been here forever. It's been remodeled several times. It's now a defunct factory. Judging by what you see, it's clearly some kind of fancy schmancy loft space for some kind of city douche that has moved in here.
No. I mean, I haven't had the chance to poke around that you have. Bar across the way seems all right. This is a little. I'm gonna guess this is a little out of my normal jurisdiction. Or block. This is. I don't usually get down here too often. Why?
This is unusually palatial for a hideout, don't you think?
It's a little nice. It's a little well supplied. I'm not gonna complain, but I am curious.
The benefactor there with which has granted us 24 hours here has asked us not to go into the basement. Please make sure that the others don't do that.
Hey.
You just made it sound way creepier.
Well, creepy and like Artemis is like cop side is like tugging at her like, go investigate the basement, go investigate the basement.
You're like, the person who owns the place has told us not to press the giant red button. Please don't actually press the giant red button. That'd be great.
And so Art just kind of looks at you like, did you really tell the cop that? But I understand why you told the cop that, but fuck me.
I love that.
Fair enough. Okay, no basement. Got it. I need one of you guys to... I don't think Delia over there trusts us, and I know you were looking for her, Judd. I don't understand. Obviously, she's important. These guys were trying to take her. We also need to make sure Molly isn't... Well, if we have 24 hours, I guess if she gets a little tanked, it's fine. But we should keep an eye on her.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like, Judd, like, kind of gives you a weak nod, right? Like, he's probably just kind of, like, propped up against something, like, barely conscious.
Yeah.
Molly, what are you doing?
So, I imagine this bathroom has, like, a wide counter.
Yeah.
And I think she's sitting on the counter with her feet in the sink, with, like, slumped over with, like, the bottle of Jack, and it's just, like, the water just running on her feet.
Is this Molly's trauma response?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
And she's probably also naked with her clothes probably shoved in the sink under her feet.
That's right. You are relatively covered
so
covered in blood. Yeah.
I think she's sitting there like in her underwear.
Yeah. Okay.
Who wants to go check on Molly? Are you guys gonna do it, or are you gonna convince me that I need to do it? What do you want to do, boys?
I think Art should do it.
I think it looks a lot like if Art does not carry Judd to the bathroom, he is not going anywhere.
Friday, do you want to try to scrounge up? This one's gonna need to eat. That one had a snack in the car. She points to Delia, but I think I don't know if there's any extra clothes in here, but she's gonna need them. I'm gonna go check on her. She just rubs her temples.
Would we find extra clothes or attire?
Yeah, there's like a coat room kind of situation. Not quite like a lost and found, but you also see that there's as you're snooping around, because you've done a thorough search over this place, there is a bedroom here. It is all women's clothing in the bedroom. It's all like not like what Molly's wearing. It's definitely like fancy, like ball gown, dress wear. Like think like any 60-year-old rich lady. That's what it looks like.
So it's Bella's stuff.
This is clearly Belladonna's stuff.
So Friday will go through the wardrobe, pick something appropriate in the form of a robe, a satin robe with like some poofy things at the ends on the
absolutely
right, and a nice sort of like collar or whatever. We'll pick that along with some slippers and walk back up to the door and just hand them through the door.
Yeah.
So
as it cracks open.
Molly, you are sitting with your feet in the running water, nude in a strange bathroom, staring into a mirror just as long as this countertop here. As you are kind of playing back through the events of the night and what just sort of happened to you. And almost as if like playing like a movie across the mirror, you see that scene that you described to Judd of these thuggish gentlemen in black suits, black shirts, black ties, sort of asking you questions and kind of giving you the once over and kind of roughing you up a little bit, and then you flash to this moment where you're in the alleyway. You kind of like panic when you see them get out of this vehicle again as they're stuffing another woman into the car, perhaps trying to do the same thing they did to you, if not worse. Then you flash to you kind of overcoming that, and then there's a flash of like you kind of seeing the blood on yourself as the red is running down your legs and into this drain as it kind of spirals down. And then you see, like, as this is all kind of like playing mentally across your mind, in the mirror, you see a large shadow. The shadow is of a man. The man is probably like over 6 feet tall, very wide shoulders. And you see it as if it is kind of standing behind you for a second. But as you kind of panic and look behind you, it's not there. And as you turn back for the briefest seconds, you see the face of Anatoly Vidalis as you hear. And the glass shatters. You see a hand stick through, and there's a dress, or there's a robe being held into the door for you.
Molly lets out like a shriek, like a scream, and she kind of like flips backwards, just splayed out onto the floor, water splashing and little red specks from all the blood coming off. and has a moment of, I don't know if Friday is going to do something.
Friday, you hear that, a splash, a scream, and a fall.
Do you need assistance?
You probably heard the glass shatter too, or the mirror shatter.
It wasn't a shatter, more so like a crack, like that spider.
Okay.
Do you need assistance?
Yeah. No, I'm just it's just a little too much to drink.
Should I get the detective to come and help?
Molly looks down at herself. Tries to get up and probably slips in the water because she's drunk and soaked, and I could use
I could probably use some help.
Just a moment. And Friday will close the door. Detective, Miss Molly needs a little bit of help.
Did he drop the robe in the room?
No, Friday.
He'll probably give it to me.
Friday is too, meticulous with
other
with
people's
clothing.
things.
Yeah.
Yes,
Particularly
when it
this
comes
person's clothes.
Right, exactly.
Okay, yeah. So there's a handoff of clothing, and Artemis, you are able to go into this bathroom as well.
I'm gonna knock. All right to come in.
Yeah, and I think Molly has gotten herself into where she's kind of wrapped herself around her legs, like her arms around her legs, and is leaned forward on the floor.
Art's gonna open the door.
So you see there is blood on the counter. You see that there is blood, still a little bit on Molly, but it looks like she's scrubbed it off. The water is running, and you just see Molly on the floor.
She's gonna, for a second, notice her lack of clothing and go, well, duh. But also, oh god.
Oh no.
Whoops, oh god. I have to comfort her and boobs.
And
shit.
she's naked.
There's boobs. Shit. She's gonna look around, see if there's a towel. Turn off the water. Set the clothes somewhere dry. She's carefully gonna wipe any residual blood that's on her. Gently looking her over to make sure she's not wounded, which
I'm fine. You don't need to. And she's gonna try and
I mean, you're fine, but you got half a bottle in you already. I think you're not actually okay.
Another Saturday night, right? It's totally normal.
Oh, it's another normal Saturday night where you scratch the shit out of one guy and tear up another. Yeah, that's something I've seen you do before. Usually I'm used to the splits or the singing or whatever, but this is a little different for me, darling.
So Molly still has on the claws.
Yeah.
She didn't realize herself until Art said that she's gonna look down at her own hands and start to pull them off, but then leave them.
Those are handy.
I'm not really sure what happened earlier, but those people weren't good people, Artie. I've seen them before.
She stops for a moment. Where have you seen him before?
Maybe
and Molly's as she giving Molly the clothes or maybe the towel she handed her, Molly's kind of just picking apart at a thread, and probably with the sharpness of the tip was just pulling apart as she speaks nervously.
Maybe a couple weeks before Sammy, before what happened, these men, they came to the club and they took me and they kind of roughed me up and asked me a bunch of questions about Sammy and about a whole bunch of stuff, and I don't know, I kind of think, am I crazy? Audie, I'm not sure what happened.
No. Same guys or same look? What?
And they looked pretty similar, the whole black suits and the big burly men. It was really dark in the club, but I think it might have been the same folks,
What did they ask you? Take your time. Take a deep breath.
They asked me all kinds of stuff. They really wanted to know about Sam and what Sammy was working on something. He liked to come to the club and he'd have a few drinks and he would say, little things here and there to me, but he never told me anything big. Why would he even bother? But Sammy was trying to get me out of the club, and
she's gonna look at Artemis very nervous to say much more. Just sort of just like with like a fearful eyes.
Look, I know there's a lot of things you haven't told me about my brother, about what you have to do, about the people you talk to. I don't ask to keep you safe. And
I told Judd they were gonna come and do something. I told Judd, and then they were here.
well, it seems more like we found them than the other way around. So
You don't know that. You don't know. Mr. V knows so many people.
And she's gonna kind of crawl back into herself.
hey, it's I know you're afraid to tell me things because you don't want to get in trouble and you don't want anybody finding it out. But right now, she takes a deep, long look. That's not going to be the case. We're here to figure out what happened to Sam. I'm here to make sure you're okay. We need to get that girl to a place where she can't get hurt again, like you were. And
did Molly see the video that showed her, the girl?
The photography? Judd? I think you did.
Yes,
I think
you were drunk, but Judd made a projector and projected it on a wall, so yes, you would have seen it.
Okay.
I think I've seen her before, Artie.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where?
She's gonna stop and like close her eyes and like try to like piece together, like she's seen the person but can't fully remember much from her drunken night.
It's okay. It's
I think
okay.
The judge. I know Joe was there. Was at his place.
I'll ask him.
Sometime maybe with the footage that we got, you know?
The film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Well, and I got the pic analyzed, and Polly was definitely the last one to touch it, so that's... At this point, Art's gonna sigh and kind of sit next to her and curl up a little bit too. She's gonna grab the robe off the counter, put it around her at the very least. I don't know where this is going. I don't know Polly's involved or any of his boys or obviously Big Bad's involved. She kind of alluding to Vidalis.
Mm-hmm.
I think those were his men, Artie.
Look like him. It's a little different, but it looked like him.
But when they came, you know, they spoke with me. I'm pretty sure it's him.
And she's gonna like kind of cut herself off and look to Artie like in more of a shock.
Did I really kill somebody, Artie? There was so much blood.
Yeah, I don't think that guy's gonna be walking around soon. Nor the one I took care of either.
Oh.
Hey, as far as I know, that girl is being kidnapped and you protected her. You were the hero for once. She kind of like rubs her shoulder into her shoulder, trying to make her feel better.
Yeah, hero.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that's a tactic I would employ always. Those things are very scary. She kind of points to her fingers. But you helped her, and if she's in the middle of this, I want to get her out too. I want to get you both out. And she puts her hand on the top of her knee, which is probably the most touching she's ever done to you.
And she's just gonna lean over, like Molly's drunk, lean over her head, just like plunk onto Artemis's shoulder, and I think she's gonna pass out.
She's going to grab another towel, because if this is a nice bathroom, there's more than one towel, and kind of tuck her into her bathroom bed.
Yep.
She's gonna come out and she's gonna fill in Friday and Judd that Molly recognizes these guys. They're more than likely belong to Mr. Vidalis.
So
What are we going to do about her?
before-
And she points to Delilah. But
before
yes.
we get to this explanation,
Yes.
I haven't used my corruption bar yet.
Oh, no.
Artemis, you tuck in Molly. You kind of give her one more glance as you stand and see yourself reflecting in a perfectly fine, uncracked mirror. As you kind of sigh, realizing this has been a hell of a night, and you walk out of the bathroom. The camera cuts, fades to black, fades back in. You see, from the back of the leg down, black suited pants and black nice leather shoes clacking against a polished floor, a polished marble floor. A door opens in front of these legs, and you hear the thwump of paperwork onto a desk. The camera kind of pans up, and you hear, "This is the entire contents of the car. Belongs to a newsie." And you see there is the entire contents of Judd's glove compartment, trunk, back seat, underfloor, as he has left his car in the Downs. You hear a loud, rumbling voice. "Good. We needed those." And the camera pans to the name on the desk, and it says Marinos. And that is where we end this episode.
Nice.
Boom! Get wrecked! Oh, man. You guys killed people. Like, straight up did murders.
Yeah. I didn't.
Collectively, you guys killed people.
Well, you kind of fried a guy pretty good.
Oh, yeah, that electrocuted guy probably didn't last.
Yeah,
long.
he might not have made it.
I think...
This was interesting. Yeah, well, we have some players that have to go. Unfortunately, there'll be a very short after show tonight. We have some busy players here, so let's go around, do our introductions, get the hell out of here, so we can do our geek out during the credits real quick. If you guys want to chat about this show, please join us in the Discord. Let us know who you think people are. Make sure you use spoiler tags. And if you like the show, like the channel, what we're doing here, please subscribe on Twitch or join us on our Patreon for all the behind-the-scenes exclusives, including our after show. That being said, I want to start with Cherry for dropping that bomb on you there at the end. Cherry, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
I'm Cherry Babam. I've been doing a lot of tarot stuff, some random games, but I think we're getting back on the RP wagon this week. I'm going to be doing some Cowboys and stuff, and some Nerf stuff as well. Come on by. I'm Cherry Babam7 on Twitter, Cherry Babam on Twitch.
Hell yeah. Another rough scene, rough day for Molly. So, Kitty, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
I'm Awkward Kitty Inc. I do a lot of role play, been doing a lot of art. Gonna be doing art later tonight. Find me everywhere, Awkward Kitty Inc. Twitter, Twitch, all the things, all the stuff.
Hell yeah. Johnny, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
Video Store Cowboy everywhere. Tomorrow night we get the next episode of Land of the Lost. Next week I think is when we do the next reporting for Dark Fortunes.
Yes.
And I'm not bringing in something big and dark and scary next week. Not at all. I mean, I'm not dropping any hints or anything. And yeah, that's me.
I don't like that at all. If you guys haven't seen Dark Fortunes, please go see it, I guess. Now that I'm terrified. That being said...
You should be.
I know, right? That being said, Sam, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
I am Sam. Twitter at TheWizenFool. I am going to be doing more BattleTech on Sunday. That is on AP Gaming Reels YouTube or the Patreon to be the most up-to-date possible on that. And otherwise, I'll be back here next Wednesday to do more Judd things.
Hell yeah. Fan-freaking-tastic. All right, guys, we are out of here. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for hitting that corruption bar and allowing me to bring in a hard twist to this game that I was definitely thinking about for several episodes and wasn't sure if I was going to do it. That being said, we are out of here for this week. We will see you guys next week, and we'll see you in the after show shortly after this. So from all of us to you guys, we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.